Hi, I'm Kelvin Slater, owner and operator of Slater Hospitality here in Atlanta.
My name is Randy Hayden. I'm the beverage director of Slater Hospitality here in Atlanta.
We're here. We'd like to talk a little bit about what you're actually getting ready to experience. It's about what Kelvin and Randy are drinking, and what we're drinking right now and what we'll be drinking in the future. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some special guests that show up here in town. And we're also going to have some people just from who we meet and interact with on a daily basis. It's going to be informative, but absolutely fun. And some of the things you'll be able to find in your local liquor store, and some of the things you might just only be able to experience if you come see us.
Absolutely, yes. Lots of fun stuff to come up. You know, we do everything from Belgian beers to champagne. We love white wine. I think white wine's kind of a forgotten category. Yeah, plenty of friends that stop by, pretty experiences, and yeah, this is going to be a fun ride for all, so please tune in.
I got to ask you a question. You know, this is our first time doing this, and I said, hey, Randy, let's get something to celebrate the first time of many more episodes to come. Why did you choose what you chose?
Well, to add a little more detail to that first conversation, I said, hey, Kelvin, let's grab something out of your cellar.
That is true.
You said, wait a minute, how am I funding this whole operation? So
that is true. Did that come out of my mouth?
It did.
Okay.
And I did a little hunting this week, and we found an iconic champagne from actually the first champagne house ever back in the 1700s. And what that is Dom Ruinart Rosé 2007 vintage. Many of the people on our staff were barely born in 2007.
Wow. I cannot believe you picked something. I love bubble rosé, man.
I do too. And I think, we had to go big splash for our first episode, and, I wanted to do something really, really special, and that is the Dom Ruinart Rosé 07. For those who don't know too much about champagne, they only throw a vintage on the label if it is a really, really great year. So potentially they could skip from 07 to 10 all the way up to 15, and you never know. So this is an excellent year, and we're about to get into that. All right. So first of all, champagne's not scary, neither is wine, but it's not hard to lose the art of opening a bottle and presenting a bottle, and I'm pretty good at that, so I can show you all that. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is you want to show the label to the guest. Whether it's your guest you're serving at home, if you're in a service setting, make sure you're always showing the guest. Now you get a cheat code, which I like a lot. There's always a tab on every bottle of champagne on the foil, and you just simply tear it. A little perfect perforated square, take it off and discard. Nice. I usually throw it back in the ice bucket just for the hell of it. And so now you have your very nice label here.
Are we gonna hear a big sound or no?
No, because I'll tell you about that. First, before we get to the sound, every single bottle of sparkling wine has the same cork and cage, and they all turn 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You never have to worry about it soft. Now you want to hold the top because the cork comes out at 250 miles per hour. My first bartending job, I shot a metal cork across the dining room. Thank the Lord it didn't hit anyone. But what you want to do here is, this is elegant. Champagne's elegant. It's exciting. It's not you and your girlfriend go to Vegas and you pop the bottle and spray it all over the room. It is an art. So you want a very, very little sound. You twist the cork, not the bottle, and you're looking for a nice little hiss, just like that. So if you see here, what we did is we have this cloth or this napkin over the champagne. This is called a serviette. What it is for is so you do not drip any of the champagne into your glass. So I'm gonna go in here and pour for my partner in crime over here. Because you never serve yourself first unless you're by yourself.
Yeah, then you can serve yourself many times.
Yes. Oh, I've been dreaming about drinking this for a week. I cannot wait. Also too, when you're pouring champagne, you never wanna fill the glass up too much. You wanna have it, a nice area where you can swirl, and it's really with any wine. And I bet the audience has a question of why we're not drinking out of champagne flutes. Well, basically, what it is, the wider mouth on a large wine glass as opposed to a flute lets the aromatics come out. You really get all the different essences and nuances of the nose of the wine. But could we stop for a minute and cheers? And
well, yes,
have a little sip
cheers.
Here?
You got to get a tap on.
Cheers, sir. Tap on the table. That's what the Italians do. I'm not Italian, but.
That's a wrap. Oh, sorry. We keep going. So,
Delicious.
Champagne. I had a 2020, I have a 2021 resolution. And you know how you sit down in the beginning of the year, you write all the things you're gonna do, and a lot of them are about work and health. But this year I added another one. I said I want to drink more champagne this year. And the reason why I did that is because it's not just a special occasion. You know, you can drink champagne at any given time for any reason with dinner. And personal favorite, from time to time when Mandy and I are sitting watching a movie, I get popcorn with a little truffle salt and the popcorn and have champagne. Don't knock me until you try it. But it is quite the treat. And it doesn't have to always be, like, I'm not gonna probably pull and drink this 2 times a week, 2007 champagne, but there's other champagnes that you can have where we don't have to make this a special occasion.
Absolutely. My favorite, well, first of all, I live by a creed that champagne's always a good idea. And I believe that. And I think more people should live by that creed, and I think the world would be a better place for that. Just to touch on a pairing before I go into the details of what exactly we're drinking, is I like what my friends in Miami do, and that's champagne and fried chicken. And the salinity, just the saltiness of fried chicken goes so perfect with champagne. That's probably my favorite pairing, tied with oysters. But again, if we could touch back on what we're drinking here. So this is Dom Ruinart 2007. So Mr. Dom Ruinart is the first gentleman who ever produced champagne. It was back in the 1700s. This particular wine is 80% Grand Cru Chardonnay and 20% Grand Cru Pinot Noir.
That's where you get the color from.
Exactly. It's strange that there's so little red wine in here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get to that too. But real quick, I said a word, Grand Cru. I'm sure no one knows. Grand Cru is a classification of the vineyard and the terroir. The terroir is the soil, the weather, the composition of the vineyard that can be awarded that title in France. It is the top. The Grand Cru is the top. So these are the best Chardonnay and best Pinot Noir grown in Champagne. There can only be 3 grapes in Champagne. 1 white, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, which we're speaking of here, and then Pinot Meunier. This is 80-20 Chard and Pinot. But you know what I learned is that this is the first champagne house. Mr. Dom Ruinart himself started the company in 1729. He went to the prestigious school of Abbey of Saint Germain to learn, and there were some younger kids there experimenting with wine with bubbles in it, and he ended up turning into making the first champagne. About 30 years later, he dug the first caves in Reims, France, and now you have the greatest wine growing region in the world. And there's so much great stuff out there. There's great champagne that for $50, there's great champagne for $5,000, you know. And I guess, you know, I left out one very important. Champagne is not all sparkling wine is champagne. Champagne is a sparkling wine. Champagne can only be called champagne if it's a sparkling wine made within Champagne, France. And that's the one thing. I think everybody goes to a restaurant or goes anywhere, I want a bottle of champagne. They're generally looking for a bottle of sparkling wine. You will not find a champagne in the world under about the $50 range.
Yeah.
Just because it's some of the most expensive property in the world as well. All right, so I am just sitting here falling in love as we're sitting in this chair. I have not had the Ruinart 07 Rosé before.
I've never had it.
It is absolutely gorgeous. The nose is just, and when you, so first of all, I can also show you how to taste and smell too. You definitely want to get the wine moving around your glass to aerate as much as possible. You don't feel comfortable doing like I did, no problem doing it on the table. Just like get the aromatics going out. Put your nose in there. Don't be embarrassed. Put it all the way in. I just feel like I walked by the greatest bakery in France, and there's fresh baked croissants like that. That yeast is just gorgeous and only found in, you know, Champagne, France. And then the taste. When you taste, you want to hit the top of your mouth, the top of your tongue, and both sides of your tongue, so you hit all your taste buds. I like to say front, back, side to side to kind of make it easier. Dried strawberry is the #1 thing I'm getting right here. Not sweet, not sugary.
It's definitely not
dry,
sweet.
like a dehydrated strawberry almost. Something we might use a garnish for a cocktail up at our 12 cocktail bar. But
wow.
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's bone dry. The acidity is
very
gorgeous.
Dry.
My mouth is just salivating.
I think right now that little fried chicken and popcorn and oysters. Can we call some?
Yeah, I think. We have oysters and fried chicken downstairs. We can make it happen. So first off, you're buying champagne. The #1 thing is you need to make sure it says champagne on the label. If it's not champagne, you need to make sure it is from Champagne, France. There's a lot of different classifications. Brut is the most popular. Brut is the driest classification. That's what most people like. You have extra brut and extra dry, which are, a little bit sweeter. And then you get into demi-sec, which is half sweet, and sec, which is sweet. I don't drink a lot of sweet stuff. I'm sweet enough. But I do like some of the sweeter champagnes with dessert, even if it's something savory like foie gras or a gorgeous sorbet, something like that goes really well. But you definitely need to look at the label for those words, make sure it's from champagne, and then look at a classification of dryness, with brut being the driest and sec being the sweetest.
And so just really, as you can see, we talked a little bit about champagne. We talked a little bit about what we like to eat with champagne. We also gave a little history on the actual producer of this particular champagne. And this is what you're gonna get when we're actually doing these episodes. And we'll have our own little personal feel about what we're drinking. We'll give some knowledge. Then we're gonna also have a little fun, with it. And the fun part is the experience. Everything that we have, we'll tell a story with. And we have champagne. I have plenty of stories to share. But everything, it shouldn't be so technical. It should be fun. I just want to be able to talk to everyone and share, and then some insights and the notes. We might share a little bit more of the content about what we're doing. But most of all, we just hope that we just can create some awareness and some of the things that people have not really wanted to ask or are afraid to ask, or you can be the big shot when you host your next dinner party. And that's what we're looking for.
I love it. Something I like is, we're not in the restaurant business. We're not in the bar business. We're not in the wine business. We're in the hospitality business. So another hope is that our hospitality, shines through watching these episodes that we do. You're very welcome to come and meet us up here. There will be times where we might do one of these live and you come see. But we do have a lot of times, if you see me and Kelvin walk around the roof, probably ask what we're doing, what we're up to. We might be headed somewhere.